Okay, we're live, we're streaming, we're ready. It's time for some improv in totality, aka some total improv, aka D&D Total Improv, aka this game. Welcome everybody who's watching. Hello, Rook, Conspiring Bulbasaur. Wow, we already got some total improv canon discussion. That's definitely a thing. Hello, AhDah the First. Oh, awesome. Well, welcome to a live show. This one, you'll be able to interact. You can use those summon points you've been earning so far. You know, if you feel like it. Summon a Tarrasque. If somebody summons a Tarrasque, I've had this show live for, since May, and nobody summoned Tarrasque yet. Although, I guess we've only had reward points since July, so it's been 2 months Tarrasque-less, but it will come someday.
I've been saving my points to do that in one of your other ones.
Oh, excellent. Great. Yes. And, who's that? Who's speaking? Is that one of our returning players, Alolan Vulpix?
Yeah.
Welcome back. What do you have to say for yourself?
I made it on time for one of the games for once. Proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too. 2 returning players indeed. Yes, Alolan is here to party. Alolan's in my private Thursday game, which is actually public now because apparently Oracle Orion is streaming it. So I guess you can watch what I do for a living over at Oracle Orion tomorrow. I hope I'm getting this right. I think there's a space. Damn it.
Yeah.
But it's good. You liked the first session, right?
It was fun, yeah.
I'm gonna spell it right. Cool. Oh, thanks for subscribing to the YouTube. If y'all, there it is. That's the channel. That's Oracle's channel. If you want to watch what I do for a living on Oracle's channel, and you subscribe to the YouTube channel, that's great. All the YouTube channel is uncut, raw re-uploads of these sessions. So if you don't have time to watch them now, you should subscribe to YouTube. The link's below. And subscribe to the TikTok that I've been neglecting too, below. I swear I'll put up another one someday soon. It's been very busy. Okay. We also have returning Mary G, aka the Barbarian.
Hello.
Hello. Were you in one of last week's sessions?
I was in tighter glutes in 30 seconds.
Oh my god, yes.
That chaos.
The most chaotic, I will say the most chaotic total improv session we've ever had. If we could, I don't think we'll ever cap that nonsensicality, but if we do it tonight, I think that's cause for celebration, right?
Absolutely.
But if we can tell a cohesive story, even better.
Also cool.
You know, as long as we accomplish something. Yes, it was great. Thank you. Thank you, Rook. Okay, and finally, we have a new player on the scene. Last but certainly not least, I'm excited to see what they got, because they got the spirit in them already. I felt it from our warm-up. It's Mitsu.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. What's up? You excited? You ready?
Yeah, I'm both excited and nervous.
Okay. Don't worry. We'll shake off those nerds. Yeah, nerds. We'll shake you all off. We'll also shake off the nerves as we go. As you'll soon see, Mitsu, there are 0 stakes here. There is no fail state unless you say something extremely offensive. But hopefully that won't happen. Awesome. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to?
I think I'm looking forward to trying out improv because I've never really done that before.
Oh, well, this is, in my opinion, a good introduction. Of course, I would say that, but this is a good way to, well, very low stakes, but also, you know, you can really lean on the DM and your other players. So, you know, just jump in when you feel like it. But you should feel like jumping in a lot, because we're going to try to inspire you. Sound good?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Awesome. Then I think it's about time we just roll in a few characters here So, Vulpix, for you, we have lined up a Tabaxi Bard Hermit. Do you see it already? Can you envision this character? Is that it? Okay. No response?
Oh, sorry, my girlfriend was talking. Yeah, I can see it. I'm ready for this.
But bring your girlfriend on. Let's have her play too.
She don't play. It'd be nice if she did.
Yeah, Vulpix's girlfriend, you hear that? You better roll in a... You better also be a tabaxi. Okay. Bard for you. Barry, we got a Hobgoblin Rogue Guild Merchant.
If I play another Hobgoblin, I swear.
You are a Hobgoblin.
I know, this is the second or third one, and I've only played 3 games.
It's in the cards for you. At least this time you're a Guild Merchant, you know?
True.
And Mitsu, finally, for you, we got a half-elf Ranger Hermit. Wow, 2 hermits and a Guild Merchant walk into a bar. Something, something. Okay, Mitsu. To make yourself a sheet, just type in what I'm typing in here in roll... Whoops. That bracket isn't supposed to be there. Just type in what I'm typing here on Roll20, but without the period at the front. It'll make you a character sheet, and then you can just use the Charactermancer to walk you right through it. Let me know if you run into any issues or have any questions or anything. Please. Please let me know. Don't be shy about saying you have issues, because otherwise it's just going to come up later.
Okay.
Awesome. Just go to the sheet, click the Character Sheet tab, and launch Charactermancer. And, you know, choose half-elf, then ranger, then hermit. It'll walk you right through it, and roll for everything else, of course. Randomly roll everything. Rook asks, does anyone need names? It might be a little early, but, I mean, do any of you all want names from the chat?
Yeah,
I'll take a name from the chat.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll take a name.
sure. Shoot out some names. Let's get some names from the chat. We don't even know what our characters are yet, but we need names for them. Pogbert. God damn it. Who wants Pogbert? Sharpiers. Do any of those inspire you? Do either of those?
What was the
asked.
first one?
Pogbert.
Ah, hell yeah. For a Hobgoblin, I'll take Pogbert.
Okay, you'll be a Pogbert. Sharpiers. Do you want Sharpiers full picks?
I'll take Sharpiers.
And then we got, well, Bulbasaur already got one in, so let's go with Lance Staub. Nice, Rook.
Dang.
The Hobgoblin did get Pogbers, so I guess you'll be
Dope.
Lance Staub, Mitsu. Ask and ye shall receive. Okay, folks. It's time for the more salient question. Oh, okay, smiling. I hope it comes back negative, unless you really want a vacation. Luck on the COVID test. Randomly roll for who gets... Okay, we're gonna bestow a trinket, by the way, on... Vulpix. When you're done, remind me to give you a trinket. Or somebody, remind me.
Trinket, okay.
Okay, chat. Starting location this time. Where are we starting? What's happening? Where are these people going? Last time we did a corn maze, a maze, which was something. And the one before that we did the Buckingham Palace, the jungle planet of Simia. Ooh, that's strong. That's a strong suggestion. Any others? Keep them rolling if you have any others, though I do like the jungle planet of Simia. The Greek Pantheon... Do you mean the Parthenon? Or like in Olympia? Yeah, yes. The first one. Oh, okay. The Parthenon.
If we do anything Greek, I'm gonna have fun.
Okay, well, usually we just put it up to vote, but if one of the players feels inspired by these...
I would happily do anything.
Well, here's
Considering
the
the chaos of last time.
here's the options: the jungle planet of Simia, the Greek Parthenon, or the large desert that was the result of a nuclear fallout. Do any of you have any preferences for those?
Ooh. The desert sounds nice.
Yeah, the large desert, post-nuclear. A fallout desert. I'm okay with the desert start. It lets me play my favorite track in all of Kevin MacLeod's library. Okay, yeah, let's do it because I want to play this. Soup Factory. Sorry, I thought we settled on the desert. We'll do Soup Factory next time. If you're here next time, and Soup Factory is... And we're starting, remind me I promised Soup Factory. Do Soup Factory. We did a Snail Factory before. But we're doing Desert Start. And of course we have our classic Desert Pillars map here, courtesy of Roll20. It was a soup factory, but then the nuke happened. Good synthesis. Nice. That's the canon. You're in a post-apocalyptic nuclear desert, formerly a soup factory. What's what do we got in what is in a desert? Yeah, we'll just do the usual. Find some random tokens.
Sand.
Maybe a cactus.
Sand, a cactus. How about a voracious kobold?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Somebody name this kobold. The desert is full of a nude orc tribe. No. We already put in a kobold. A traveling merchant. Yes. This is a traveling merchant, and he's joined by this, this cat girl. We already had... Wait, is that a callback? Oh, hey, Cass. Yeah, that's a callback to our nude orc tribe in the ice flow. Wow, that's an old callback. Let's go with we'll put a mechanical spider here, hanging out on a pillar. Let's get some names for these, characters, like Marty the Cat Girl. There we go. Just really like nude orcs. Is that so? Come over. Is a man called the Sandman. I feel like that's a little too on the nose, but okay. Sure. The person in charge of the desert is, let me find a random token. Here. One from a different thing. Oh, ooh, we don't usually use these faceplates. Okay. Yes, here we go. The Sandman. Who's just here. I guess we're starting with the Sandman in charge.
Do we also randomize our equipment and skills?
Yes. I would suggest choosing class equipment.
What was my name? Oh, Lord.
Sorry, you're coming through a little quiet, Alola?
Sorry, I was going back, trying to figure out my name.
Oh. You were, no, you were Pogbert.
No, I was the Hobgoblin.
Yeah. No, there's, wait, are you also a Hobgoblin?
No, I'm at the Bexy.
Oh, then you're Sharpiers.
Sharpiers.
Or you can be Tabitha the Unlucky, whichever you prefer.
Ooh.
Tomothy the Merchant. Thank you. And, the name for this spider chat, this mechanical spider, Sand Dave. Sure, that's the name of this spider now. This spider is the Sandman's partner, Sand Dave. And we're gonna have a confusingly named other person here. This
Oh god.
this pterosaur named Spidling Bert. There we go. That's enough NPCs for a starting location. And we'll just figure it out as we go. Awesome. Good work, y'all. Dum, 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 dum. God, I love this track so much. Bum, 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 bum.
It feels very like 90s video game.
Actually, we'll just have you all start this. I don't know why I've been doing this lately. But y'all should just, no, that's the wrong map. There we go. What is this? Is this SpongeBob SquarePants?
Horrifying. My gosh.
Okay. This is gonna be Sandbob. I just saw this token out of the corner of my eye, and now I want it. Cursed it. This is a very cursed SpongeBob. God.
Oh god.
What did they do to you? What do they do to you, SpongeBob? Bum, 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Anybody? I'll remember this bop from the bar mitzvahs. I'm the only one who went to bar mitzvah.
Never been to
Played
one.
this bop every bar mitzvah.
I've not either.
Well, then you're missing out.
I'm sure I am. I grew up heavily Catholic, though.
Then you definitely missed out.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh no. My stats are so bad.
This is one of the best stats I've ever rolled for a character, not gonna lie. I usually have terrible stats.
Me too.
Mitzvahing out. Yeah, I remember my first mitzvah.
Drank so much orange juice till I passed out. No, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Matzah? I matzah, be sure to remember that one. No, no, it's the...
Stop.
Okay, for future reference, you can spell it this way. By the way, are you all... Oh, okay, we already got a few ready here. Don't panic if your sheet sketches out a little, because I'm just making it available for chat to see. And me, kind of. You might have to close and reopen it, depending on what happens. . Anyways, the important thing is that Cassinity... Cass, you're now canceled for spelling matzo wrong. I'm reporting you to the police.
People have been canceled for more ridiculous things.
Has cancel culture gone too far?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we're as yet unleavened. Okay, enough of this shenaniganry. Let's ask a few questions from our beloved players here, shall we? Damn TikTok kids and their matzo purity. Okay, let me find a pen. I should have had a pen. What happened to my pen? There it is.
Went into the abyss, just like all of your other pens.
Yes. Actually, this Total Improv has helped me run out 2 big pens already, writing down all this character information. So, good work, everybody.
That sounds about right.
We finally hit the true milestone of dedication.
Yeah.
Let's continue with the other shenanigan. Yes. So, Pogbert,
Who?
welcome.
Hello there.
You're a hobgoblin. Rogue.
What about it?
Guild merchant. And
Yes.
what is it specifically you're selling here? You're a weaver and dyer. Ooh, so you sell clothing?
I'm a master of fabrics.
Master of fabrics. I see. What's your hottest item?
Hottest item. Typically, like, just in general, a lot of people buying fleeces and things like that. That has kind of gone downhill since
Ooh.
the apocalypse. Everything is warmer now.
Right.
So it's a lot of like,
We don't have nuclear
really
winters.
thin cottons.
We
It's
got
a lot of like thin cottons. Yeah.
thin cottons.
Also
and
a strange amount of like fake fur.
and
Can't
fake
figure out what that would be bought for, but
So, what are you specifically pushing right now? What is it? Like your cotton pants, your Armani shoes? I don't know how fashion works.
I'm specifically a fabric maker, so I actually weave and make the fabrics, sell them in bulk, like an old-timey version of a Joanne Fabrics.
You're a textiles hawker. I see.
Yes.
Okay. Which does make sense, as all manufacturing chains have broken down. Particularly
Yes, people will need
the
to
soup
learn how to sew
manufacturing.
again.
Yes. And make soup. So here's questions from the chat.
Well, can you not get soup from other stores?
I make my soup out of textiles. Okay.
Oof.
It's very, very filling. Okay, questions from the chat. Where does the Pog come from in your name?
My father was Pogden, and my mother was Arethibert. They were
Okay.
unoriginal and just kind of smashed them together.
Though that answers Cass's question too, so nice. What do you love most about freedom? Wait, hold on. Before you answer that, what happened? Did your parents die?
No, they're just annoying. I left.
And Albert, annoying. Sorry, what was Arethbert? I wrote Albert.
Arethibert.
Arethibert. Annoying. So you left.
Yes, they didn't. They said that my work was not quality and it was a waste of time. And obviously they're wrong, so I left.
I see. Based. What do you love most about freedom then? Just, I mean, I guess we kind of answered that question. You don't have to deal with your parents, but.
I get to create and do, and my work has a purpose, not only practically, but it's beauty. I get to make things that have a meaning and a purpose behind them.
I see.
And yeah, my parents suck.
Your parents suck. That is appearing to be your main personality trait. Beef or chicken? Asks Skirtag.
I think I'd have to say beef, because you can get more out of one animal.
I see. Very, no comment. Why were the parents annoying? I think that was kind of
They
answered.
didn't believe in me.
Yes.
They thought that what I was doing was a waste of time. They said I become a doctor, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Pogbert, what's your perfect first date? Asks Cass.
A nice dinner. A moderately expensive restaurant where I'm not paying. Someone who likes listening to and imparting in conversation, but also someone that I can talk with, mostly about what I do, and what I love and believe in creatively. And if it isn't that way, I may just leave.
I see.
But yeah, someone who likes to listen.
Free dinner and someone who listens. Last question from the chat. Would you class yourself as a perfectionist?
If I weren't, I would be no good as a creative person.
I see. Excellent. I have a question just relating to your backstory here. You will get revenge on the evil forces that destroyed your place of business. Was that just the nuke?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, should we figure that out now? What exactly? Who dropped the nuke, or does nobody know? It just happened.
Is that a question for the chat or for me?
It's I'm asking you now, Pogbert. What do you think?
I think the chat should answer.
Okay, chat. Who dropped the bomb? Sand Dave did it, but nobody knows. Okay. Sand Dave did it. Awesome. Great.
Just wanted sand.
I'm gonna put a little box around that so I remember it.
God damn it, Dave.
God damn it, Sand Dave, you and your spidery ways. Okay, up next. It's time for Tabitha the Unlucky. Tabitha, you there?
Yes.
Okay. You're a tabaxi bard. You're a hermit, and let's see here. What does this say? I was partaking of communal living in accordance with the dictates of a religious order. That's highly specific, so you better have specific details on how this works, Tabitha. No more James Tiberius Kirk, Admiral of Her Majesty's Royal Navy.
What do you have against James?
It's pronounced James Tiberius Kirk, Admiral of Her Majesty's Royal Navy, but that's not relevant right now. Hermit, Bard, Tabitha, why did you join a commune? Or were you in a cult? Asks Rook.
Yeah, I wasn't a cult, but there was too many people that was involved, and it didn't fit my hermit lifestyle.
So you
So
left.
then I just, I just left them.
The name of this cult?
Vader bonds.
Vader Bonds. Sorry, so I'm getting this right. Vader Bonds. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Vader Bonds. And what were their tenets?
Their tenets were mainly they just wanted to sit around. The main tenet is to sit at home and be at peace with nothing going on, and I don't like that. I like to be musical and spend time with my musical toys.
What do you
Got
play?
4 of them. I play the drum, the schwam, and the songhorn.
The Schwam. Okay, plays instruments, including the songhorn. What was the name of this cult leader, just for reference? Was it Sand Dave, by chance?
It was Sand Dave.
Sand Dave. Okay. Okay, let's take some questions from the chat here. What makes you so unlucky? Asks Conspiring Bulbasaur.
I lost my lucky flute as a child, and I had to take up the drum ever since.
Ah, lost your lucky flute. Excellent. That's good platform. Cass asks, Tabitha, if you had to organize a bachelorette party for me, what would the theme be?
The theme would be medieval tavern brawl.
Medieval tavern brawl. I hope you're looking forward to it, Cass, because this is actually going to happen in real life now. Your favorite power ballad?
Oh, there's just so many that I don't have a favorite.
Hey, is
I
that
can jam out to them all.
that's from BKD's? BK, aren't you in the game with the Alolan? Tomorrow? Am I confusing my names?
Easy?
I think so. Well, maybe. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome. Hello, and good question. Okay. Who took your flute? Asks Bulbasaur.
Sandy Dave as a child. We were not good friends.
But you joined his cult.
But he took me in when I needed a home, so
Starting off with Sandy. Well, this is actually good plat. Usually, we don't start with such a strong antagonist. So, this is like a throwback to how we used to do this. Okay, one last question. No more from the chat. Should your discovery come to light, it could bring ruin to the world. Obviously, we must ask what this is and why it would bring ruin to the world. That we're already post-apocalyptic. So, what is your discovery?
well, it was that I knew Sandy Dave was gonna launch the nukes. I just couldn't stop him because I'm so unlucky.
You just said it. You never said it. Okay. Oh, thanks for the follow, Sat. Sat69420. Nice. Thank you for following.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
So you knew and you didn't. Why didn't you stop him exactly?
I couldn't figure out my words. It was a stressful situation. I got overwhelmed with emotion. I
Aren't you a
stuttered
bard?
on myself. Yeah, but I'm musically inclined, not speech
Okay.
inclined.
I see. No more questions. It's time for our last person here. He has 8 arms. They're overpowering. Yes. Lance Staub. Lance? You there?
Yes, hello there.
Hello. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic.
Excellent. You're a half-elf ranger hermit, but unlike our friend here, you didn't join a cult. You were exiled for a crime you didn't commit. Ooh, juicy. Tell me more about this. What were you accused of?
Well, I was accused of sabotaging Garbella's food supply by obviously someone who's very
Sorry,
jealous of my
sabotaging
talent.
whose food supply?
The village's food supply.
Okay. And do you know who actually did it?
Yes, it's this one jealous half-elf named Bob.
Oh, Bob poisoned. Bob did the poisoning. But you got exiled anyways. You got framed.
Yep. Unfortunately, I got framed for it.
And Staub. What? These aren't questions. Okay, here's a question from Bulbasaur. What was the name of the village you stole food from? That's a good question.
The name of the
name of the village you were exiled from.
Oh, the name of the village was Golden Leaf.
Golden Leaf. Okay. Exiled from Golden Leaf. And I see you entered seclusion to hide from the ones who might still be hunting you, so these people were really mad. I guess Bob's leading that hunting party?
Yeah, Bob is leading it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Okay, here's a few other questions from the chat. Rook says, what do you need to be right? Does it make it hard to have relationships?
Well, I know usually growing up, it turns out that I am usually always right.
Okay, right.
Uh,
So you're already right. You don't need anything to be right.
Exactly.
Exactly. I don't
I'm just
understand the
always
question.
right.
Have you ever committed any tax fraud?
Of course, I would never do that. Why would I do that?
I don't think there's a state that collects taxes right now anyways, so
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be a
What are
continuation.
taxes?
Golden Leaf, A Village by Philip Morris. Does Dave know about any of this? Asks Cass. No, asks Bulbasaur. What was your question, Cass? That wasn't a question. I don't know if we can answer if Dave knows about any of this. Lance, stop. Babbid, or behead? Oh, I understand the question now. What?
It's F, marry,
Butte?
kill.
Yeah, but what does bewed mean?
Be wed.
Oh, be wed. I knew that.
It's the marry part.
Okay. Be wed, be bed, or behead. The Sandman, Sandave, and Spidling Bert. Lance. Lance.
I would.
Lance. Be wed, or be bed, or behead.
I
Who?
would beware the Sand Dave, be bad, the Sandman, and behead the Spiraling Bird.
Bespidling Bert can never get a break. Or Bespidling Bert. Okay, let's ask some more questions. What is a hill you will die on? I think all of them, as we established, right?
Exactly, because I can never be wrong.
Yeah. What's your favorite enemy, and why? What did they ever do to you?
My favorite enemy is those blasted giants.
Yes.
They always come in here thinking they're better than everyone else when it's clearly wrong, because obviously us elves are better.
Is that your only reason? No, like, scarring incident from your past? Ooh, maybe we can explore that in a flashback in game. Never mind. I'm gonna shelve that one. And you explore the Underdark? Okay, I don't think the chat doesn't have any more questions. You can't think that's cheating. Excellent. Yes. Take that criticism to heart, everybody. No thinking. I think that's all the questions I have, and I think that's a good enough setup for what we're starting with. We're exiled from Golden Leaf. Sand Dave caused the apocalypse. What more information do you need? Apparently a bit, because I accidentally hit my remote control and lost the image of my screen. There we go.
Oh no.
Okay, we're back. We're good. So, I mean, we already got the starting point set up. I think we're just ready to do this. You all ready?
I'm good.
Yep, I'm ready.
And normally we'd put on some adventure music, but, I mean, we know what the starting music is going to be this time. So, oh, we got some trinkets to bestow. First of all, Vulpix, you want to roll me a 1d100?
Yes.
And also, this is from Smiling, who left, but you can thank Smiling for this gift, which is a glass orb filled with water, in which swims a clockwork goldfish. Oh, might be a precious commodity in the desert. We also have a magic item bestowed upon Pogbert. Pogbert, roll a 1d4.
Thank you, Smiley. I'm sorry I'm late. Even if you're not here, hopefully you get the response.
They know. They'll know. Oh, damn. Okay. You're Pogbert. You are starting with a higher level item here. A potion of cloud giant strength. Which I believe is a 25 on the strength score here, but let's just double check. Okay, never mind. 27 strength score for 1 hour. So,
Lord.
you just have that.
I'm gonna be unbeatable.
Good. That's one of the
Sweet.
game-changing gifts we often get here. There is no Jesus. There's only Sand Dave Bulbasaur. Okay, let's get started here, shall we?
Oh Jesus! Only Sand Dave.
Actually, let's put on something a little more.
Who gifted that Item?
That was a gift from Rook the Ninja.
Thank you, Rook. I had a 0 to strength,
Ooh, this
so that's cool.
this one's called Curse of the Scarab. Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
I like it already.
Oh wait, we didn't. Hold on, we're not ready yet. What wacky tobacco am I smoking? You're all gonna be level 5. Go level up while I get your tokens ready.
I have.
God,
This is truly strange to me now. I have only ever been level 5 playing these games.
It's set in stone. It's
Set in stone. If I'm playing, it's level 5.
Look, Rook, it's been a busy day. I got a lot on my mind, okay? You all want to know what I have on my mind? It's promotional time while they get ready. Oh, by the way, if you don't know how to level up, Mitsu, top right, click the gear in the corner, scroll down, Character Master level plus. It'll walk you right through leveling up, and of course, random reroll stuff. Do not apologize, because it's a great segue into why a lot has been on my mind today. Tonight, we're doing a very special broadcast. It's not Total Improv. I have been commissioned by one of our regulars here to stream a one-shot, a Will and Grace tabletop one-shot. Will and Grace being the late 90s, early 2000s sitcom about a neurotic woman and her gay roommate. So, tune in at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Will and Grace, the one-shot, where only half of our players have watched Will and Grace. Who would ask for such a thing? A genius. A genius, Bulbasaur. Honestly, well, look, Jeff was like, he wanted me to do a Full House one, and I was like, I've never seen Full House, and he was like, what other 90s sitcoms have you watched? And I was like, Friends, Seinfeld, and he was like, eh, and I was like, Will and Grace, and he was like, yes, Will and Grace. I want to see a Will and Grace game, so we're doing Will and Grace, and that's the story. Oh, here we go. We got a token for Tabitha the Unlucky. Nice.
Yeah.
Specifically Will and Grace. And you know what? I'm down for it because I like Will and Grace, okay? I grew up watching it with my mom. And it's not like, I don't know, it's not the best show, but it's genuinely it's funny. I was rewatching it last night, you know, to do some prep for this one, and it made me laugh out loud. Like, it's funny. Is my mom going to play? No! Ah, damn it, I should have called my mom about this. I was gonna call her to ask her about this, because she's the Will and Grace expert. Maybe I could call her in on stream. Can you spend your points during the game? I think it might be funny if I had, like, Summon Tarrasque or something enabled during the Will and Grace game. Sorry, you were gonna say something, Bullpix?
I was gonna ask if anybody want to pick 1 through 70 for me.
Oh, sure, chat. Well, I mean, if you say that, it's always gonna be 69.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go, 69.
Well, last time it wasn't 69, it was 33.
It's 69 look, they said 69 before I even said that. Or before well, too late, Bulbasaur, it's 69. Okay. Lance Staub, do you want me to find a token for you?
Yes, please.
You got it. You are a half-elf. Let's see here. I'll just choose from the defaults as per the usual here.
And then they randomize their spells also?
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to roll for them. You can just, like, scroll down and click randomly, or even just choose what inspires you. It is quite the process to actually roll for each one.
Okay.
This person looks like they like some peace and quiet. If it's not 69, then 420. with a 0, you can just say 420.0. Okay, here's our friend Lance Staub. Select a token. And finally, Pogbert, do you want me to find one for you?
Yeah, if you could.
You got it. Let's see here. there's like no default hobgoblin tokens for some reason, so I just got to get a little creative. But we got a few options here. That looks
You can
kind of
use
like
my
a kid.
same like weird goblin from the first one.
Yeah. Maybe. This guy looks like he builds things. Do you want to be this guy?
I can't.
You want this guy?
Oh, I love him.
Okay. That's Pogbert.
He is a Pogbert.
You just took one off the 70. I wasn't being a dervish? That's a very specific... That's a very specific, I don't even know the thing to be. Wrong word. Like, that's just a, that's just like a religious rule, devilish. Okay. Did you get auto-corrected?
Auto-corrected in the Twitch chat.
Auto-corrected in the Twitch chat? Oh, I heard dervish. It would be kind of setting for the desert setting here. Well, maybe not really, actually. Not even. I didn't realize you were part of a Sufi fraternity, Rook. Maybe we'll run into a dervish on this adventure. For now. Or you have a scythe. You could have a scythe if you want. Dervish, famous for their use of 69. Nice. Okay, is everybody leveled up? Not yet. Faster! We demand it. The people demand it. Actually, nobody's demanded it. It's only me. Everybody's chilling in the chat right now.
Alright.
I don't know. How does it autocorrect to dervish from devilish? Who knows? Okay, Lance, we're just... You got a lot of spells, I suppose. If they're writing on their phone. I don't believe it. Oh, you've... Let's get some, Beholder Pogs in the chat for Hard to Follow, who DM'd for the first time this Sunday. How did it go? You think it went well? Good, a little awkward. But if they come back, that means they enjoyed it, and that's all that matters. That's my philosophy, anyways. Okay. Our characters are leveled up. It's time to get started and get going and get into it. We'll reminisce about DMing hiccups later. For now, it's time to join our heroes in some total improv. Let's do this. The post-apocalyptic desert of Doladil in the starting village of Esgrove. Not too long ago, many years ago, some number of years ago. 65 years ago, the world was destroyed in a nuclear war, but who started it? Nobody knows. Well, most people don't know, but maybe some people do know. Who knows? I don't know.
Not us, clearly.
Clearly, only one person would know that, and who knows who that one person would be? I don't know. Okay. There's one thing everybody knows about this world. You all know this. A dead god lies buried beneath Raven's Crag. There's also something only one of you knows. Only one of you knows this secret. It may or may not be relevant to this campaign. Only you know this, Pogbert. I'm going to whisper it to you now.
Okay.
Only you know
Cool,
this
cool.
information. You make
Cool,
use of
cool.
it as you please. We now join our heroes as... Wait, we never established. Do they know each other? Okay, you all know each other. You're all friends. As they enter this, this circle, this merchant, this Sandhenge. Sandhenge in the post-apocalyptic desert built by the ancients. For what reason? It remains mysterious. And here we go. The desert desert sands blow harsh across the post-apocalyptic desert. Walking through here, you feel like you could the Mojave Desert, some Fallout reference that I don't remember. More importantly, this is the first occupied area you've come across in 2 days. You're in search of water, food, and other amenities to get you through the harsh desert. But what awaits you in this curious gathering? It's been a long time since you've been to Sandhenge. Wait. We'll put on this. Walking in, you see Sandbob and Spidling Bert and Hefty conversation. In hefty. That's not a term you can use for conversation. In loud conversation. A dispute over a game of chess. I am the winner of this chess game, says Sandbob, saliva leaking from the sides of his strange mouth. Oh, I am, says Spidling Bert. They look like they could come to blows at any moment. Tomothy the merchant and Marnie, the cat girl, watch. What do you do?
Well, I don't waste my time getting involved.
Then what do you do? You can't just say you get involved. You have to be more specific than... Don't... Are you getting involved? Says Sandbob, looking over at you standing there.
No, I'm watching. This is entertaining.
They just announced their involvement. Oh, okay. I thought you said you were getting involved.
No, I am not getting involved. Are you kidding?
Oh, okay. Oh, they're not getting involved. Oh, okay, says Sandbob. You know what, Spidling Bert? I can't be mad at you. I love you. I love you too, Sandbob. And they start making out.
It's like a soap opera.
Do we give them some privacy, guys?
Says Tomothy the merchant.
Hey, maybe you two should get a room.
Marty sighs and says, alas, since the apocalypse, there have been no rooms. There are no rooms.
You know, Sandbob looks like he can make a pretty mean sand hut.
You really think so? Says Sandbob.
I do.
Yeah,
Look at you,
buddy.
man.
Oh, maybe I will, he says, and they walk off. Welcome to Sandhenge, says Tomothy the merchant.
Yeah, thanks. Is that normal?
Yep. They do it every day. Tell me, have you come to buy some wares? Yeah, buy some wares, says Marnie. Some wares? Yes, I've got wares here. Any wares? From where, you ask? They're wares. Ha ha! Ho ho!
I do not need wares. My friend over here makes wares himself.
Oh, a fellow waremaker, says Tomothy to Pogbert.
Out of character, I'm having a crisis. I can't move my token.
What?
It's not
it should
letting
be
me
controlled by
move.
you. You might just have
Yeah.
to refresh roll 20.
I was trying to move it, and instead of letting me move it, it was just highlighting it every time.
Oh, okay. I moved it, but
Reloading. Okay, what was what was said to me?
oh, a
Sorry.
fellow waremaker. I see, says Tomothy.
Yes, I actually came to inquire to see if you had a position open within the market that myself and my fine fabrics could hold residence.
Tomothy scratches his chin with his fork and says, I don't know about that. Like we said, there's no rooms. I guess that's canon now, so there is no residences. But
Well, not residence as in a living space. Residence as in a place for me to work and create. I can work in the outdoors. In fact, it creates a quite beautiful effect on the dyeing process and the weaving process when you're working out in nature, and it can inspire you.
sorry, but the textile trade just isn't what it used to be. I don't think I can bring you on, hobgoblin. Says Tomothy.
Excuse me.
As he cuts a steak with his knife.
Well, number one, the textile industry may not be what it used to be, but last I checked, people still wear clothes and need shoes. And secondly, is my being a hobgoblin an issue?
Well, that's neither here nor there, he says, as he cuts his steak. That's why he has a fork and knife, Rook, okay? Because he's eating a steak.
The steak just popping into existence was too much.
And look, I'm sorry, who are your friends here? You've got a tabaxi and... Wait a minute, says Tomothy, squinting his eyes. Aren't you the one who poisoned that food supply? Stay away from my steaks. I'm sorry for my partner, says Marnie.
I've done no such thing. I poisoned no food supply. That was all the work of Bob, that treacherous elf he is.
I'm sure it was, says Marnie. But you know. Tomothy's pretty temperamental. Lately, the Sandman over there has been upping the taxes.
For what purpose?
I don't know, you should ask her.
Perhaps I will.
You approach the Sandman, who stands there. Over behind her, you see a mechanical spider staring down at you with purple eyes.
I'm going to notably ignore the spider and, like, slightly bow to the Sandman as, like, a show of respect.
Oh, there's no need to bow, dearie, says the Sandman. She flips back her hood to show luscious blonde locks and red lips.
There may not be a need, but if there is a want as a way of showing respect, then should it not be done?
I suppose so. Very complimentary, she says, giving a thin smile.
Compliments where compliments are
Tell
deserved.
me, I haven't seen you around here before. Where are you from?
A few villages over. I grew up about a day's walk from here, but when, you know, everything went down, my workplace was destroyed. I have since been looking for a new place to set up shop. I've been doing what I can on the road in various stopping points, but weaving and cloth making is a lengthy process. It's hard to do on the move.
I see, says the Sandman, and your companions over there.
Yes, Tabitha and Lance, they are also on the move. Tabitha, I've only met recently, so I do not know their motive, but Lance had to leave excommunication because of some rumors, false rumors in their town.
A shame, says the Sandman.
Truly.
Dave, babe, do we know anybody do we have any jobs available right now? And Sand Dave says, hey! Okay, I guess this is the voice we're committing to. Hey, Sandman, baby! Yeah, we're looking for some work. There's rumors that there actually is rooms out there. Sand rooms made of sandstone beneath the sand pyramid. Over yonder. We need some fine folks to delve down into the sand pyramid and find Sand Dave and the Sandman some nice sandy rooms. Some real rooms. I want somebody to go down there and clear it out. Get rid of any of the inhabitants that may be down there so that the sand folk can move in. Hey!
You said sand pyramids. In what direction are these pyramids specifically?
I'm just looking at the chat in there. We sew apartment block. They're right there over there across the sand desert. The sand gather. They're over there across the sand. I don't know. Chat, could you give some desert locations, please? The names of some desert locales that our adventurers can make their way through. The gorge, past the gorge of justice.
Would that be in the direction of the Tower of Debris?
No, it's near the Sand Gets Everywhere oasis, and Sand Gets Everywhere is in quotes there.
Well, I can investigate the situation if you'd like and see if there's anything to be done by myself and my acquaintances, but I won't do so for nothing.
Of course not. You find a room, each of you can get a room. As I hear, as the Sand Dave hears it, says Sand Dave, rubbing his front legs together. There's enough rooms for everybody around here, see? So you get first dibs after Sand Dave and the Sandman. You know what I'm saying? Capiche? Yes, what my partner says.
I want to lean in really quietly to the Sandman so that Sand Dave can't hear me. Madam.
Yes.
This, partner of yours. I don't know them well, obviously. This is the first conversation. You seem like a woman of poise and status and grace. And why?
Well, Sand Dave is the greatest lover I've ever had, says the Sandman. He knows how to press my buttons, if you know what I'm saying. Also, look at that face, she says, pointing to, like, his gnashing, salivary, venomous teeth.
Well, I do suppose some people do have a taste for adventure. Not my type, but if Sand Dave makes you happy.
Hey, and there's one more place, says Sand Dave. I'm just gonna roll 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna roll for this one. The glorious pit of sand. You don't have to go to Anakin Skywalker Memorial Park.
Thank goodness, that place is a nightmare.
Now go send your friends, says Sand Dave. And, hey, wait. And go tell the Tabaxi, says Sand Dave, that, maybe we can, have a little talk about their flute when they come back.
First of all, Dave, the Tabaxi's name is Tabitha, and I suggest you use it. Second of all, this isn't a blackmail attempt. Is it?
No. It's not a blackmail attempt, it's me mocking him in order to create dramatic tension.
Well, if you are mocking my compatriots, I may just have to decide that that sandstone building isn't a very high priority.
It's your call, Pogbert, says Sandave. But if you aren't willing to work with the Sandave, you're not gonna find a friend anywhere else in this here post-apocalyptic wasteland that definitely was not contrived by Sandave as a way to grab power in a power vacuum.
Very well. You've made yourself clear, and so have I. We'll see where that takes us.
My partner is so
Sandman,
innocent,
good
says
day.
the Sandman. Okay, oh, never mind. We summon as you leave. We zoom in on Sandave for a monologue.
Sandave.
As a spotlight was summoned on him by BKDs.
BKDs, I'm gonna kick you.
Thank you. I love you for this.
Hey! So yeah, I did it. I blew up the world, says Sandave. You know, back where I come from, in the old world, I was just a mechanical spider. Nobody respects a mechanical spider. But in this new order of things, mechanical spider's the king. Baby, I rule over this oasis. It's mine. And I got the hottest partner in the world, 'cause I killed all other potential partners she could have, says Sandave. I snuck into the president's office and pressed the button. And nobody was the wiser, 'cause nobody expects the mechanical spider to do anything sinister. And yeah, sure, I'll let these balonies go and to the pyramid and get the rooms. We'll see what we can arrange. But if y'all think I'm gonna share any power with that dingus Tabitha the Unlucky, you got another thing coming. Sandave rules, he says. Puts up his legs, trying to make a fist, but he can't. Sandave! Woo! Sandave! Okay, zoom back out.
Okay, I go back over to Tabitha and Lance. So, in conversation with the peoples of this market, Tabitha, it seems that Sandave knows you.
Yes. I've known Sandave since childhood. We have never gotten along.
Yes, he did make it seem that way. He was rather rude. They want us to go search for and clear out this building near the pyramids where it is rumored that there are rooms, which is a commodity. They want us to clean them out, and in trade we will have a choice in which rooms we choose as individuals. But, as I mentioned before, Sandave was rather derogatory towards you. So, I won't say too much here in present company, but I do know the location of something that may be able to take Sandave out of power. Because frankly, I think he's a douche. Thoughts?
He is a douche. Let's take him out. I'm fine with that.
Wonderful. There is a tower. There is a tower off in, what cardinal direction would the tower be in?
North.
There was a tower off in the north. It is called the Tower of Debris. I believe our solution lies there.
Well, to the north is... How far is this tower? do we gotta go?
Do I know how far this tower is?
Yes. Oh god.
Yes, it's exactly an hour to an hour and a half away.
It's only about an hour and a half's walk away from here.
Oh, perfect. What is all right? We can take this journey.
Where you
Sandbox,
guys
can we-
going? Says Sandbob.
What?
Evening trip. It's a walk.
Can
Nice
I
climate.
come?
It's one of the days. No.
Spitling Bert left me, says Sandbob.
You can come if we can ride you there.
I feel
Sure.
that might be slightly inappropriate. Oh. All right.
Yeah, says Sandbob. Come on. Hop on my back.
Oh. Maybe I should walk in front and lead the way.
Yeah, your choice.
That is
Yeah.
my choice.
I think I'll stay at the back and watch our backs. I still feel comfortable riding him.
So why did they call you Tabitha the Unlucky?
As we start walking away.
Because my lucky flute got stolen when I was a kid.
Oh, that's so awful. Did Spitling do that to you too?
I don't know. If it is, we gotta take him out. I want my flute back.
Oh, you've suffered so much, says Sandbob. You've suffered so much. Tabitha, you fart. You fart.
Ah, I feel good.
Ah, yes, says Sandbob. That did feel good.
Wait, you like that?
Oh no.
Yes, Will and Grace is at 7 cast. Thank you for watching the first half. Never mind, says Sandbob. Let's go. And so our heroes make their way to the pyramid, where supposedly rooms lie. Will
No,
they...
we're going to the tower.
Oh, the tower where the old god sleeps. Yes. Which also happens to be near the pyramids. The Tower of Debris.
Debris.
Of Debris, excuse me. But will they make it to the Tower of Debris and awaken the old god, rejuvenate the world? What mysterious things will they encounter on their way? Will Sandbob pull through? Or will they kill Sandbob? We'll find out after this 10-minute intermission. But keep tuned, folks, because it's only gonna become better than here. Although this is already top-notch, we're gonna see. It's improv, baby. I'm hooked. I want to know how this ends. Right? Anybody?
I'm ready. I'm excited to see where this goes. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, let's just put on the chill playlist, shall we? Here's the chill playlist. Okay. Be back soon. Woo, indeed. Okay, let's put on a little. Let's put on a little. I think that was an echo. Let's put on a little prediction, shall we? What shall our viewers bet on this day?
Whether or not the tower actually holds the thing to defeat Sandave.
Well, we already established the gods under there. I want to like.
We didn't establish. That was a secret.
Oh. Well, spoilers. I mean, the audience knows because they saw the whisper.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
Okay. No, we need Also, it should be something that, like, is established. We can establish early on, like, well, okay. You know what? Will the god be awakened? Or, no. Let's make the bet, will Tabitha get their flute back? I think that's a good one. Okay, when this poll is done, we will reconvene for this prediction. Place your bets, folks. Will Tabitha get their flute back? Ah, I should have asked if Spidling Bird. Well, it's too late. Place your bets now, folks. Remember, you get more in return. You can bet as many points as you please. I will be back in a hot minute. Hey, chat, if you're there, if you have any suggestions. I figured out the system I'm gonna be running the game tonight on, but I don't have I'm still trying to figure out, like, you know, a situation or a starting point. What's the term? Not a setting. An inciting incident for the Will and Grace game tonight. If anybody has any suggestions. Nope, no suggestions. Grace is going to marry a hobgoblin player. Will has a blind date, and it's Grace's brother's... See, that's what I'm talking about. That's a Will and Grace premise right there. Will has a blind date, and it's Grace's brother's boss. And for some reason, Jack and Karen are there too. And he's a hobgoblin. Who's not gay. See, this guy watches the show. Oh, we got more bets trickling in for yes. But likes the lifestyle. I don't know how hard I want to go on the political commentary here. Well, although I guess the show is kind of... It's a fine line to thread, as it were. Well, there really shouldn't be political commentary, should it? Jack and the other are doing recon for it. Yes. Okay, perfect. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, BKDs. That is perfect. That is the perfect... I don't think I could have come up... Damn. Okay, we're going with that. That is perfect. That could be like the premise to an actual episode of Will and Grace. Are you sure you're not one of their writers? I'll write that down. This is what you do. This is how I work. I just outsource. Not anymore. I just outsource all my ideas to the chat. Okay, I don't have a notepad in front of me, but I have my guide for Canadian federal elections here, which has blank space. So this is where I'm writing this down. Who's that one character who's like Karen's arch nemesis? It's played by oh my god, why am I blanking so hard? He's played by Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt's character on Will and Grace. Why was that so hard to remember? Danley Walker. Okay. It's Grace's brother's boss. Perfect. I can't believe there isn't a Will and Grace wiki. Oh, there is a Will and Grace wiki. Never mind. Will and Grace. Wait, was that not? Welcome to Total Improv, where the DM researches Will and Grace. Oh, Beverly Leslie. No William Dafoe? What? No Willem Dafoe. Willem DeFriend. Haha. Ho ho hee hee. Oh, Scott Woolley. That's who I'm thinking of. Scott Woolley. Who was played by Jeff Goldblum? Really? Why did I think it was Patton Oswalt? He went to school with Karen and vowed revenge. Scott Woolley. Thank you. By Brave. Okay, what's the first? They're going to the Gorge of Justice? I'll get the Gorge of Justice ready. There it is. Gorge of Justice. What else do we have? Sand Gets Everywhere Oasis. Oh, wait. Okay, we're done. It's time to come back in. The predictions are in. It's 730 to 500 for yes, getting the flute back. Only one person voted no, but they voted a lot. Yes, the glorious pit of sand will coming. Right now is coming. Right now, our only concern is the Gorge of Justice. Okay. Okay, bye Bulbasaur, thanks for tuning in. Vulpix, you good to go?
Yep.
Mitsu, you good to go?
Yep.
Okay. Then let's do this. We return to the nuclear oasis. Oh, you were AFK, but now you're back. Okay, welcome back, Bulbasaur. Welcome back, everyone. It's time to dive back into some total improv. Our heroes head off to awaken an ancient god. What awaits them there? Who knows? I don't have anything prepared. It's improv. Nevertheless, the first stop on their journey is a crossing of the Gorge of Justice. But what awaits them in the Gorge of Justice? Certainly something less zoomed in than that. Sandbob says, "Oh, the Gorge of Justice! Looks like it's just us," he says to Tabitha the Unlucky.
I take 2 damage from that pun.
Am I funny? Do you think I'm funny?
You're very funny, Bob. Keep it up with the jokes.
Oh, thanks. He blushes.
I get a little rub.
How are we gonna cross this gorge of justice?
I thought we had to go in.
No, look, you can't go in. You just have to cross it. Look, it's 7,000 meters deep.
How wide is it? If you know how deep it is.
It's 15 feet wide. Lance, you want to roll a 1d10? This crag was made when the bombs exploded and things happened. No, you're all level 5, right? Okay. Suddenly, emerging from out of the chasm, floating, and it comes a white, a ghastly, a skeletal man with white hair and a fine cloak, a bow on his back and a sword at his hip, flanked by 2 zombies. Who says...
Coming out of the gorge?
Yeah, it just crawls out. Who says, "Seeketh ye to pass over the gorge of justice?"
Yes.
From the chat, can we get some names for this white and his zombie friends? And it is not so simple. Justice will prevail here at the Gorge of Justice. Says I, Judge Baronhand. Nice name, good work. Judge Baronhand. My hand may be barren, but it will be filled with a sword if you do not pass the test of justice. This is my associate, Whit Goldman. How's it going, Whit Goldman? Says one of the zombies. And this is my wife, Susie. Hello, says Susie. Your Whit Goldman will be your lawyer for this trial, and Susie will be leading prosecution.
So when you said trial, you didn't mean like a test. You meant a literal, like, judicial court.
Yes, it's the Gorge of Justice.
God damn it.
All right, says Whit Goldman. So I think we can get you a plea bargain if you plead guilty on all charges.
On what are the charges?
Chat, what are the charges? Well, he says, shuffling through his folders, like he opens up his briefcase and papers fly out. Oh, God! Oh, excuse me! He picks them up and tries to push them back, riffle them back together and get them sorted. Oh, the page numbers are all out of whack. 1 second. Your charge is being too wet in a desert of dryness. And Grand Theft Soup.
Maybe that's why we're so wet.
Well, don't we can't admit that to the judge. Judge Baronhand. Okay, I guess we call him Hudge Baronhand. It's not a typo. Hudge Baronhand. He delegates dutifully. Do you have any exculpatory evidence?
I'd like to ask, on what basis are these decided as crimes and not just incidental things?
On the basis of justice.
what is justice? On what government are you making these claims?
Ooh, that's good. You gonna say that to the judge? I mean the Hudge?
I would like to ask that respectfully.
Okay, says Wit. Then let's start the trial.
God damn it.
Bunk, bunk, bunk. What was Hudge's voice? Trial is now in session for the trial of justice. If our defendants are found innocent, they will be allowed to cross the gorge of justice. If they're found guilty, they will be put to death immediately. Oh, I don't want to die, says Sandbob. All right, Your Honor, says Whit Goldman. The defense would like to state its case now. Starting with Pogbert, who had something they wanted to ask.
Before stating my case, I would like to ask, on what government are you acting?
Objection, Your Honor, says Susie. There is no government.
Then how, if there is no government, as has been stated, how are you able to act upon a law system? If there is no government, there is no laws to be enforced. You are just
Objection, Your Honor, says Susie. The nature of law is derived from the state of nature itself through the cooperation of differing entities of moral virtue. Sustained, says Hudge Baronhand.
the nature of law and judicial law are two very different things.
Objection, Your Honor! No, they're not! Sustained, says Hudge Baronhand.
You gave no support for why it is not. You just said it's not.
Whit Goldman whispers
Is this not a fair trial?
Whit Goldman whispers in your ear and says, try saying objection really loudly.
But I have nothing to object to. I'm the one
Objection,
speaking,
Your Honor!
therefore I can't...
Pogbert hasn't objected yet, so I'm winning, says Susie. Sustained, says Hudge Baronhand.
I have to ask, Judge, if you are only going by who yells objection the loudest, this is not a fair or logical or respectable trial.
Objection, Your Honor, it is, says Susie. Sustained, says Hudge Baronhand. Wit says, we're taking a beating out there, Pogbert. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
I absolutely know what I'm doing. Do I know if Wit is on our side or just, like, acting on our side for the sake of this and is actually on the side of Baronhand and Susie?
Make an insight check. Okay, he does seem to be on your side. He's just extremely incompetent.
Okay, so it seems like if I were to martially attack one of the two, he wouldn't gang up.
You don't know that. He's just advocating for you. However...
that's what I made my insight for, I thought.
You hear another objection from inside the deep gorge.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Hudge Baronhand says, "Oh, God, no! Why now? No! Objection! You should know better than this, Hudge! Oh, God.
Oh my God, it's John Mulaney.
It's worse. BKD spent 1,200 points to summon Hudge Baronhand's mother.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Hudge! You should know better than this! Says the voice as it becomes louder and louder. You can't just go sustaining objections just because they're the loudest. And out comes, his mom, who is,
What?
Christ.
She slams down a hand and immediately crushes Susie to death. You also gave me the worst daughter-in-law of my death. Now listen here, Pudge. Natural law can't just be derived from the state of nature. There needs to be a state in order to enlist and enforce the laws, at least in the form of judiciary that you're purporting to support. Pogbert, you did an excellent job of arguing your case, says his mom. I'm going to declare you all not guilty. And Hudge, you are guilty of not calling your mother enough. And she grabs Hudge bare in hand by, well, he doesn't have an ear because it's decayed, but by his face. No, not the gorge again. You're coming with me, mister. And she disappears back down into the darkness.
Hey, Wit, you want to come with us?
Schmoigel, sure, says Wit. I guess I'm out of a job now.
We'll climb aboard, buddy. Can ride this journey together.
Hey, can you, fart well? Says Sandbob.
Dear God.
Sandbob, away!
You gonna do fly us away on your fart?
He runs on all fours and leaps like a beast over the chasm.
Do we just assume that we can jump them?
Yes.
Cool.
So where are we going to now? Says Whit Goldman.
To the north.
To the north.
Follow Pogbert.
Why?
Because I know where we're going.
Okay. Wait, objection. I mean,
No,
that doesn't
okay.
work anymore, he says coyly, as you traipse off through the desert towards your next destination, this, quote, sand gets everywhere, unquote, oasis. Hey, aren't you the elf who poisoned the water supply? Says Wit.
No, that was just a bad room. I did not poison my village water supply.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure that I did not do that.
Did they poison the water supply? He says to the rest of you.
No,
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Somebody poisoned that water supply, and it definitely wasn't Bob.
It was Sandy Dave.
Sandy Dave.
That tracks.
That arachnid rapscallion. I hate that guy.
We all hate Sandy Dave. We're gonna take him out of commission.
That's what we're on this journey for.
Okay, as you journey through the sands, he's just found not guilty. I swear Mitsu did a Wiso impression. Okay. It's sandy and sandy. It's getting hot and humid underneath the hot desert sun. It's thus with relief that you finally come upon the sand gets everywhere oasis.
Ugh, I know it's an oasis, but I hate it here. It's like the sand is different than any other part of this desert. It's just... Ugh.
I got sand in my
Everywhere.
eyeballs, says Sandbob, who starts crying.
Oh, wash your eyes out, please, Sandbob. But
I
yeah,
jumped
the sand
in the
here is
water.
different. It's like
It's at a very poor
coarser.
resolution.
It's coarser.
But Goldman leans down and scoops him up with his hand and tastes it. Oh no. Pixel art, he says.
Wit,
Oh,
how do you
God.
taste out when you're decaying?
With my anus.
Oh God,
Sounds delicious.
Wait, shit.
dude.
No, that means there's gonna be pixel bullies here. Yeah, that's right.
Bully
Yo, we're the Pixel Gang. Pixel Gang rules. Woo! From the chat, can we get the name for the Pixel Gang? No, not the Pixel Gang. They shoved me in my locker in middle school. Yeah, that's
They look
right,
pretty
nerd.
I'd thank you to not insult any of my companions.
What you gonna do about it, Hobgoblin?
The name's Hogbert, and I respect that you use it. If you feel not using my name is your MO, then we will have to solve this in other ways that you will find much less favorable.
Why? 'Cause you're a nerd?
No, because I have a sword. Can I swing on him?
Sure. You swing on Pickaxe Pixie. That's a hit.
Alright, I do... Let me roll damage.
Sticky and Sir Pixelotl. Thank you. Thank you, folks. You just click like where it says short sword in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh.
And it just rolled an attack. Yeah.
Really? It should. Okay, you do 3 piercing damage. Whoa!
What?
Because you have a +2 and you rolled a 1.
That's
Ow!
so lame.
Well, that's not cool. You dare stab the Pixels? The Pixel Gang, says Sir Pixelotl. Yeah, says Sticky. You got a problem? I'm a fucking manticore.
I do have a problem, and that is that you are disrespecting me and my companions. If you feel the need to continue this disrespect, then we will have to continue finishing you with our martial prowess. If you decide to show some respect, we can be on our way and let you have at your oasis as you'd like.
Maybe we can show them that bullying is not the solution to their insecurities, says Sandbob.
That's what I'm trying to do. If you show people respect, they will respect you back.
Speech! Says Sandbob.
Speech.
Anybody?
What?
Oh. Okay. Goes back to washing his eyes out.
So, Pixels, what do you say?
Hey, you're
Respect?
You're Tabitha
Or
the
death?
Unlucky, aren't you? Says Pickaxe Pixie.
Don't avoid the question.
We know who took your flute. They say.
I start laughing as well.
He slaps in your face.
So I assume by that reaction that you are not choosing the respect route and we will have to go with the alternative death option. Correct?
Whoa, that guy is out laughing Pickaxe Pixie. Did you cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on yourself?
On him while we were laughing it
Oh,
out.
he passed the save.
Yeah.
He stops laughing and says, "So you think you can just Spider Dave? Sends his regards."
Spider Dave. He's doing
Who's
this?
Spider Dave?
I mean, Sand Dave. He's a
Oh.
spider.
Ah.
Are you friends of Sand Dave? You work for him, you're on his side?
He pays us a stipend to bully people.
Ah, In that case, I shouldn't have given you the respect option to begin with.
What do you mean?
Death is the only option.
Oh.
No.
So what, you can only resolve things through violence? Nerd.
No, most things I in fact choose to not solve through violence. But for those who seek to bully and plague the lives of completely peaceful people just for monetary gain, which, trust me, money, wonderful. I would love to have more of it. But for bullying people, it's low class.
Yeah, well, maybe you just won't engage us in the marketplace of free ideas. Pixel Gang out! And they take wing and whoosh, fly away.
Pussies. So, anything else we want to do here at the Oasis before we move on? Sand Bob, how are your eyes doing?
Oh, there's sand everywhere.
We are in a desert, Sam Bob. That happened.
Does anybody have any heals?
There's sand. You reach into your bag and pull out a healing potion, but all you pull out is sand. There's sand everywhere.
Bummer.
You open your mouth to say bummer, but only sand comes out. Oh, we gotta get out of here, says Sand Bob. There's sand everywhere. There's sand getting everywhere. It's coarse and irritating.
Take off running.
You run, but you try to run, but your feet are sand.
Our feet are sand?
There's sand everywhere.
Is there anything we can do? Is it like a spell or something that's happening, or?
No, it's the sand gets everywhere oasis. There's sand everywhere.
But it seems like it's taking over us.
Yes. Sand
And there's
starts
no
appearing.
spell effect?
No, it's just sand. There's sand everywhere.
I think we just have to run.
I'm trying, but my feet turn to sand.
You run, but the run turns into sand. There's sand everywhere. No, says Sand Bob. Not like this.
Sam Bob, you're killing me. Stop.
No! Suddenly you find yourselves covered in sand. The sand fills every pore, every eye hole. Everything is sand. It's all sand. All the way down. As the sand encloses you, all you can think about is how goddamn sandy it is. Is this it? Says Sand Bob. Is this how we're going out?
Can we make like a check or a saving throw to escape from this?
Go ahead, roll.
Like strength or dex or?
Make a strength roll.
Oh, damn it.
You make
God damn it, I
you
wanted
roll
to
your
do
dice,
dex.
but your dice turn into sand.
You son of a bitch.
No, it's all ones, says Sand Bob. As spotlight is called on Sand Bob, as you descend into the sand. It's all sand. I knew I would always die to the sand, says Sand Bob. But I didn't think this would be the way to go out. I finally made some friends. Some friends who would fart on me. And who understood justice better than anybody. Even Whit Goldman, the lawyer. I thought we could be best friends. Ever since Spider Bert broke up with me, I haven't been the same, but now I've realized that there's more to life than just love. There's friendship. There's passion. I think me and my friends, we could still save the world, he says as the sand swallows you all up. And you disappear deep into the sand. You're a goofy goober. And now you find yourselves buried in a pit of sand. Wait a minute. This is the glorious pit of sand. Looking around, it's so glorious.
Yes. Glorious sand indeed.
It's like, "Ah, finally, we're out of that pixely sand we were in earlier."
Now we can be at peace with ourselves. In this
We're
glorious.
alive, says Sandbob. How do we get out of here?
Can I make like a nature or a survival check?
Sure. You have no idea.
Well, I tried.
What are we just trapped here forever? Says Sandbob. This isn't where I wanted my law career to go, says Whit Goldman.
I think we should continue to move north.
We can't. We're surrounded by sand, says Sandbob. The only reason we're not dead is because this is a pit of sand. A glorious pit of sand.
Yes. It's... Mm.
Someone had to get out of the pit to tell stories of the pit. So
Yeah, and it's a glorious pit, which makes me think that it's not... It wouldn't just be like a normal, large pit. It would be incredible.
Lance, you have just been bestowed a magic item by chat. Roll a 1d4.
Woo.
Ooh, a 1. Whit Goldman farts. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, you got a spell scroll.
Ooh.
Lance, you have a flashback to long before the apocalypse. In the city gardens of your home. The village where everything started. It's your old mentor. You remember your old mentor. Cool Jerry.
Oh no, this set.
Hey Lance, says Cool Jerry. I know I'm cool. But you're pretty cool too.
Thank you. It means so much hearing that from you, Cool Jerry.
Oh, it's no worries, my man, says Cool Jerry. Listen, Lance. I don't believe any of these allegations against you about poisoning the food supply. I'm too cool for that, says Cool Jerry. What do you say?
Thank you so much it's so cool of you to believe in me, Cool Jerry. I'm glad you're the one that believes in me so far in this village.
Your face suddenly pales as you see sneaking up behind Cool Jerry before he can react, a stone giant who brings down his club upon Cool Jerry's head. No, that's not cool, says Cool Jerry, who collapses to the ground. Ah, pathetic, says the stone giant. Pathetic. And he walks away.
No! Cool Jerry!
Lance, says Cool
Use.
Jerry. I'm dying.
No, stay with me, Cool Jerry. I'm sure we'll get you through this.
No, it's too late for me. Once that Giant's club came down, I was a goner. It's totally uncool, but that's how it goes sometimes. Not everybody can be as Cool Jerry.
No, don't say that. I'm sure you can get through this. You're too cool to die, Cool Jerry.
Listen, Lance. I gotta admit, you're not as Cool Jerry. But you can be cool, says Cool Jerry. Someday, you're gonna save some friends of yours just like Cool Jerry got cool by saving friends of his. That's why Cool Jerry wants you to have this. And he hands you a scroll. You'll know the cool time is right to use this. You'll be the coolest kid on the block, says Cool Jerry.
Thank you so much, Cool Jerry. I'll get revenge for you. And I'll make sure everyone remembers how cool you were.
I don't want them to remember how cool I was. I want them to see how cool you are. He says, Cool, Lance. And then he dies. He lets out his last breath. Even his last breath has sunglasses on.
No, Cool Jerry.
You think back on this time as you fumble around in your pocket. Thinking about everything that just happened. And where your situation now.
Guys, I think I'm at the perfect item to get out of the situation. I forgot I have to scroll for my mentor. He gave us a name Cool Jerry. He gave it to me before he died.
If you
See,
think
this
it
might
could
be
be
able to help
useful.
us.
You never checked what the scroll contained.
Let me look.
Yeah, how
Let's
cool is
look at the
Jerry's?
scroll, see what it is.
How cool is Cool Jerry's scroll?
Your hands shaking. You unfurl the scroll you've held onto for 61 years. And your jaw drops as you see how cool it is. It's Tensor's floating disc. Cool Jerry didn't want you. Cool Jerry realized the best way to get out of your problems was to put on a pair of shades and surf out of them.
We can use this spell. Instead of just floating disc, we can use this to surf out of this. We can use this to surf out the pit. It also comes with sunglasses.
Physic's broken. Yes, indeed. You could surf out of the pit. But, yes, and there's wrapped up in the scroll was also a pair of sunglasses, which unfurls and drops to your feet. You put them on?
Yeah, let's put on the sunglasses. See, this will be for you, Cool Jerry.
Put on a pair of shades. You can hear Cool Jerry's voice echo in your mind. Whoa. That's pretty cool, says Cool Jerry. That's pretty cool, says Sandbob. And you cast Tensor's floating disc?
Yeah, and then Lance will cast it. Okay, come on,
Cast.
hop on, everyone. Let's surf out of here.
You all very delicately balance on the 5-foot wide disc.
We could tie a rope around Sandbob and pull him out behind.
Yes, says Sandbob.
I'm gonna dig my claws in and hang on to Bob.
Hold on, baby, says Sandbob.
I got your back, baby.
Okay, Lance. With your sunglasses on, you gotta say a cool one-liner, or else it won't activate. Of course. Lance! You're trapped in here. You gotta say a cool one-liner to activate the coolest spell. What do you say?
All right, guys. Let's surf these sands.
Yeah! You surf off. In the direction of the old tower, you fly around the pit, careening back and forth. You're the coolest looking cat that's ever hit this desert. As you swirl around. Woo! You feel the sand-swept wind sweep through your hair. Until finally, you exit out of the pit. And you find yourself at the old tower. Which will be created thusly in a moment. But finally, you made it. And Lance, you're now the coolest cat this side of the Mojave.
Oh, while we're flying around, for theatric effect, I'm gonna cast pyrotechnics, so we have fireworks flying around.
Pshoo, pshoo, fireworks shoot out. I'm finding an old tower. Oh. Perfect. And as the last firework bursts, you crest the top of the pit and fly out and make a perfect landing. Right before the old tower. The one you've come to find.
All right, everyone.
Sandbob releases the rope from himself and stands up. That was so cool.
Yes, very cool. So there is, at least as far as I am aware, there is an ancient, unnamed god within this tower.
Should we go poke him with the stick?
Maybe not a stick. I think we should maybe approach, praise, try to awaken, gently and kindly see if he can be on our side so that we can get San Dave out of power. Something along those lines.
Yes, this sounds like a lot better idea. So, you want to go in first, or... Hey, Sampop, you want to lead the way, buddy? Seemed like you could handle some booby traps.
Okay, says Sandbob.
Be quiet about it.
Okay, says Sandbob. He approaches the tower. Hello, tower. My name is Sandbob. I got broken up with recently, but I found some new friends, and they've given me a new stock on life. I really feel good about things, you know? Hello? Tower? Are you there? Tower? Hello?
Sandbob, I don't think the tower is the god.
Oh.
I think the god is in the tower.
Did I try knocking on the door?
Respectfully, I think that might be a good idea. Unless anybody has any other idea.
No, that seems like a good idea.
Okay, Sandbob's gonna knock on the door. Here we go. Sandbob time. Sandbob knocks on the door. You know, I'm just so happy to be here with you all. It finally face up to my— Ah! He screams as a pit suddenly appears beneath him, and he falls 500 feet to his death.
Oh, Samba!
No!
Oh no,
blunk.
Stan Bob. Who could have expected that?
You look down.
Oh shoot! And he took the rope off. Damn.
No, Sand Bob, says Whit Goldman.
That's the end of the journey, guys. Samba was the star.
Well,
Continue this no more.
Well, looks like Sand Bob is dead. Capiche, says a voice beside the tower. It's Sand Dave.
Ah, yes, we let him into your trap for you, sir.
Oh, don't think I didn't know you was conspiring. This ain't no pyramid. This is a tower. And Sand Dave specifically asked you to go and visit a pyramid to look for rooms. And where does Sand Dave find you?
At a spot that has a pointy tip like a pyramid.
Don't take Sand
Like
Dave
to-
for a fool, says Sand Dave.
I
And
would like
got-
to recall something. I walk over, not like close to him, but on the other side of the pit. We never agreed. You simply wanted us to go. There was no agreement.
There was an implicit agreement, says Sand
No. I said that you should respect the members of this party, and if you would not show them respect, then you may have to find other adventurers. And then I agreed that we both understood where we stood. There was no implicit agreement. In fact, it was far from that.
Dave. What are you, some sort of lawyer? Says Sand Dave. I'm a lawyer, says Whit Goldman. I can review
Yes.
the contract if you'd like. Silence!
It was a... You will not silence the members of my party, thank you very much. Wit, it was a verbal agreement. There is no written out contract. Which both makes it hard to cover, but also not legally binding.
Actually, it is, says Sand Dave. You say your argument is on the basis that there is no overarching law, but you're forgetting that in this case, I am actually the government. Sand Dave.
An
is the
individual
government.
cannot be a government. An individual can run a government, but an individual cannot be a government.
My constituents disagree. Right, boys? Yeah, we disagree, says the pixelated punks. Yeah, not the bullies.
Your cohorts are hired bullies. Pardon me if I don't take legal advice or knowledge from them implicitly.
I don't... Sand Dave says, well, they're my bullies, and you're gonna listen to what Sand Dave says.
And what if I say that I won't?
Then we're gonna have to have a final showdown and fight to the death.
Tabitha, Lance, Wit, does that sound okay to you? I won't enter into something if you don't want to.
Sand Dave, I got one question for you. Do you have my flute?
Oh, I got your flute, buddy. I got your flute right here, and he tosses it into the pit.
Damn.
Ask Mage Hand to grab it while it's falling through the pit.
Okay, you gotta be fast, so make a dexterity save.
Dex. Come on.
Roll 20's being a little slow. Okay, you managed to grasp the flute.
Oh my god.
You really managed to grasp the flute.
Yeah, I did. Holy crap.
Okay, you grasp the flute. You get the flute. Well, sorry, Atho. Looks like you lost, but everybody else, your prediction was correct. The flute. Tabitha did get their flute back.
I don't need a showdown, Sandy Dave. I got my flute. But if we need to, I still will.
All right.
Unless you got some other way to resolve this conflict, we're going to enter initiative now, says Sandave.
I think, at least for myself and Tabitha, that is for the best. Lance, Wit, I will leave it up to you as to whether or not you join the combat.
900 plus points, let's go. Nice. Wow, really? Damn. I think everybody got a lot of summoning points, so we might expect some interesting interventions this battle. Hold on, sorry, I'm still importing some sheets. Roll20 is being slow on the compendium.
Yeah, no problem.
Whit Goldman says, I can't believe they killed Sandbob. Like, how could they do this to Sandbob?
I know. I loved Sam Bob.
Yeah, I don't mind fighting Sand Dave. He's like a dick, so I don't mind fighting him.
Let's avenge Sandbob.
Yeah, let's
And
do it for Sam Bob.
I want to drink the potion.
Oh, you drink a potion of Storm Giant Strength. Your strength score, you can just change it manually to 26. Which is a lot. That's a lot of strength. That's a lot of strength.
How do I go in and change that?
Just like
Oh,
go on your sheet and like where it says your strength score. Change that to a 26.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, a fight is initiated.
All right.
Now I can roll in each of these. Roll initiative. Tabitha the Unlucky, you're just gifted a 1,000... Oh, Oracle Orion. Hey, Oracle. Just gifted you a high-level magic item.
Ooh, thank you.
Here's Sticky the Manticore. Oh my god, these sheets. I might have to refresh Roll20 again. These are taking way too long to load. Okay. Hold on. We'll be back in a second to really do the fight. Just needs... Roll20 just needs a little bit of a breathe. Okay. 27 strength is disgusting, yes. Tabitha, roll a 1d5, would you?
5.
You got a... Oh my god. Okay, Tabitha. You pull out for the final battle. Plate Armor of Etherealness.
Oh.
So you have that on now. That is possibly the single best magic item in the game, or close to, like, something of Wish and that sort of thing. You become ethereal for 10 minutes.
Holy crap.
So you can just phase in and out of being. Come on. Rolling in Pickaxe Pixie. That flute really is lucky, yeah. You play your flute and the armor appears around you. Okay, finally, we roll in Sir Pixelot.
No.
Pseudo-Dragon. Wow, Tabitha will have to change her name to Tabitha the Lucky by the end of
I just did that.
it. There you go. There you have it, folks. Tabitha the Unlucky is now Tabitha... Let me edit that on the token. Tabitha the Lucky. Oh, and I gotta roll in Whit Goldman. What am I thinking? You folks won't be reviving any sort of dead god here, says Sand Dave. This god don't need to be awoken. I put him to sleep for a reason.
Oof.
Pogbert, you're up first.
All right. I'm gonna go for Come on, why are you being a pain?
That's you rolled your proficiency, not the attack roll.
Yeah, I know. It's being a pain. For whatever reason, that's not. Anyway.
Oh, it's not in your sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want it in
It's
your
just
sheet?
not there. It's fine. I'm just going to rapier attack, pickaxe pixie.
Okay, I added the crossbow, FYI.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I still think I'll go for the rapier attack on Pixie, so I'll
Pixie.
move here. On Pixie.
Go for the rapier attack on Pixie. That's a hit. Roll damage. And a miss.
Oh, you pain in the ass.
Hit
why
the
is it-
word in the chat, like in the word rapier in the chat.
I did. It's being weird. Okay, there we go.
Ah, goes pickaxe Pixie. Roll again. Wait, is it adding? Oh, it's adding your dex. You should add your strength.
How do I change that?
Well, I guess you can with a rapier because that's a dex weapon. Or is that finesse?
I believe it's finesse.
Okay, then instead of a +2, we add a +8. Just stab him hard. Okay. Well, that's gonna hurt him a lot more. Ah! You almost kill him. No! We're the cool gang! But the second attack hits. It's a method, so. Roll damage. Actually, this is gonna kill him no matter what. Yeah, you kill Pickaxe Pixie. Ah! Why? How are you so strong?
Magic, bitch.
Lance, you recognize the strength of a giant in Pogbert. What could this mean? It's your turn.
Pogbert, are you part giant?
No. No, I'm not.
How do you have such giant strength?
Sometimes, when it is necessary.
Phew, fireworks go off.
Sorry, I was
Goodness, Tabitha.
it was an accident. I'm getting excited.
Lance, I would love to have this discussion, but perhaps we should have it at another time. I would be happy to enlighten you later.
Agreed. And then Lance will start shooting his bow and arrow at Sir Pixelot.
Okay. That actually hits the pseudo-dragon. Oh, you got archery. Oh, yeah, sure, it hits. Okay, you kill Sir Pixelot. No! Says Sir Pixelot, I had so much dialogue. Is
Okay.
that your turn?
Yeah, I got one more attack, extra attack. So now I'll fire a sticky.
Okay, Sticky the Manticore looks a little bit more menacing. I think I have a cooldown timer on the magic items. I'm not sure, though. Wait, let me check Sticky's thing here. 13. Let me check Sticky's AC. Oh, 14 AC. That hits. For 12 piercing. Oh, wait, that's not cool. There goes Sticky. Is that your turn?
Yeah, being end of his turn.
Okay, then it is Tabitha the Unlucky's turn.
Where's Sticky at? Alright, I'm not worried about Sticky. Alright. Dave, you've always bullied me as a kid. I'm sick of you, and then I run off. Stab at him.
You run right at. Hey, what Sand Dave is the cool guy here. That's a hit. Sand Dave is the king of this world. Yeah, so I blew it up. So what? Says Sand Dave.
No, what?
Flourish from
We had a good life. Yeah.
What? Says Sand Dave.
We had a good life before you set the nuke off. Now everything's just sand.
Yeah, that's Sand Dave. Woo, says Sand Dave. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
What's your class? Oh,
I'm,
you're a rogue. Okay, then you get one attack.
I'm bard, but with
Oh,
the
you're a bard.
blade mail
Okay.
from the thief.
Okay. Then it is Sticky's turn. Sticky goes, you'll pay for killing my pixel friends. They were my only friends. Why you gotta hate on Pixel Gang? Bro? Where's the hate coming from, bro? Says Sticky to you.
The hate is simply payment in kind. If you learn to respect and love even yourself, then others will see that in you and learn to give it to you as well.
Whatever, bro, he says, and he stabs you 3 times with his tail. No, never mind, he crit fails on the first one. Well, just to consult the good old fumble table here. Did that not roll a 1d100? Dang it. Only a 1d100.
Wait, Goldman.
You got a 47. He hears your words and he takes them to heart, even though he says he doesn't. He has disadvantage on his next attack, and he also misses that one in that case. He attacks you a 3rd time with a 15, which hits, and you get stabbed for 8 piercing damage. Okay, we'll have Whit Goldman take out the trinket on his turn.
For
Bulbasaur.
8?
Yeah, 8 piercing damage.
I'll take it.
Now these guys stop moving because they're no longer alive. Okay, it's over to Sand Dave, who says, "Hey, Tabitha, guess what? You know how you had a crush on Sandman? Tabitha?
On Sandman, Sabbob?
Well, yeah, Sandbob too.
Not Sandy Dave, no Sam Bob, yeah.
I was the one who convinced Spider-Bert to break up with Sandbob, just cause I like to see him suffer that much, and he bites at you. With a 15 to hit.
Oh,
Why is your
no,
AC
no,
33? No. What the fuck?
I have no idea. I was trying to figure that out too. I was looking through my items.
Oh, it's because you're ethereal, right? Or
That's what I
no,
thought.
that's not what it should be.
Like,
How?
I
What
took
the
off the
fuck?
leather armor.
But you have the plate armor of etherealness. Well, it won't hit you either way. Because it bounces off your ethereal armor. Where did you get this? He says.
I've had it hitting this whole time. It did not come about till I had my flute in my hand.
Whit Goldman, meanwhile, takes out a silver spoon with M engraved on the handle. And says, I'll dig up this god myself! You fight! And he runs over and starts digging into the sand with the spoon.
Good on you, Wit.
Pogbert, Sticky's attacking.
Dicky, I'll do another rapier attack on him.
Okay. That's a hit.
But it's, so that's 10.
Yeah, that's 2 plus 8 is 10 damage. Ah! He cries as you stab deep into him.
He's not down.
No. Well, he's a manticore. He's got
Okay.
a lot of health.
That's what I thought. Okay. Second, dang, I can't use that. Yeah, I can't use sneak attack.
Nope.
Can I? Nope.
You can disengage as an action. As a bonus action.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna bonus action disengage.
Okay, where'd
Go
you go?
back next to Tabitha over here. And then can I sneak attack from there?
Don't you only have one attack? You're a rogue.
Yeah, I only have one.
Then you attack once and disengage.
Cool. Better than nothing.
Lance, what do you do?
Seeing Hogwarts getting hurt by Sticky, he's gonna just keep attacking Sticky till he's down.
Okay. You have 2 attacks, so you go ahead. You can Hunter's Mark Sticky too for that extra damage.
Oof.
Oh, that's a crit fail. Roll a 1d100.
Oh no.
Oh no. You lose your combat footing, exposing yourself to your target. Their target has the advantage on you on their first attack roll against you. Yeah, you lose your footing, the sand slips. You still have time for another attack, but... yeah!
He's gonna try to shoot one more.
Yeah, you can just shoot another time. That misses, unfortunately.
The stupid sand.
Tabitha. The lucky.
Tabitha the Lucky. Alright. I'm gonna use mobile fighting stance. So I can push him away. Or myself. I figure myself since he's bigger than me.
Okay.
Oh, it's being slow again. I'm gonna
Oh,
click
you got it.
once.
You do 11 damage.
Damn.
You remain in the border ethereal. During this time, you can move in any direction. You can only affect and be affected by other creatures on that plane. But you aren't in the ethereal plane, right? You haven't
No,
gone
I'm not.
ethereal.
It takes an action to
Yeah.
activate
Okay.
it.
You slash him for 11 damage. Ah! He goes crying out in pain.
And then
Asshole.
back up.
Uh,
You deserve that.
okay. It's Sand Dave's turn, and he's just gonna go right after Tabitha. You think you're so lucky? You think you're lucky, punk? You think you're lucky? I'll show you luck. I'll show you what's lucky. You make your own luck in this world. And it bounces off your armor. Sticky will turn his ire upon Lance Staub, who shot at him twice and missed twice. His first attack has advantage. And he goes for the tail sting. And he crits. Uh-oh. You take
Does Sticky
12.
really have 40 movement?
He can fly 50 feet.
Oh shit. I suppose wings.
You
I can't
take
even see.
you take 12 piercing damage as he lands next to you, and then oh boy,
Oh god.
Oh god.
that might oh you got a lot of HP though. I see. So you take 10 plus 11, another 21 piercing damage. Why won't you die? He says to you, Lance.
Because I'm always right.
Wait, was that? Oh, okay. Whit Goldman continues to dig. Yeah, I can't practice law anymore, but I can practice ancient ritual revival. No, he can't dig at all. Pogbert. He gets the spoon in his own eye and pops it out. Ah, shit. Scrambles to put it back in.
Alright, I'm trying to double check the rules of sneak attack here.
You can do sneak attack here because it's Sand Dave is
I
within
can.
5 feet of Tabitha. Yeah.
Cool.
So you
So
can
I'm
add
going to
sneak
do I'm gonna do a rapier attack on Sand Dave.
Okay. Would you like to steady aim so that's with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a hit.
Alright. Dum. So I'm gonna plug that in and damn.
Nice. 21 damage. That's a lot. Ah! He cries as you stab him pretty deep in his thorax. He falters and his legs buckle. Doesn't look like he has much life left in him. Well, you can't move, so I guess is that
No.
you?
Yeah.
Lance. Sticky's facing you down. What do you do? Why are you so cool? Says Sticky.
Because I had the coolest mentor taught me how to be cool.
That's impossible. Wait, you were a disciple of Cool Jerry? Says Sticky.
Yeah.
But he's the one under the tower.
That's impossible. I saw him get killed by a giant in front of my own eyes.
He's too cool to die. What do you do, Lance?
You try to talk. How about you stop fighting us? We can help us uncover Cool Jerry.
You trying to persuade him?
Yes, I'm trying to persuade him.
Okay, make a persuasion check. That's your action, though. Okay. Sticky goes. You're right, he says. Sad Dave, you're not cool. This isn't cool. You just admitted publicly to causing the nuclear devastation that destroyed this world and turned me into a manticore. I don't want to be part of the Pixel Gang anymore. I just want to be cool, says Sticky. And Lance, the coolest person I know, just taught me that. Tabitha, what do you do?
Shit.
Hey, Sand Dave is cool, says Sand Dave. Look! He fumbles with sunglasses, but he drops them in the sand.
Sand Dave, back down before we end you. Like, we
Never!
We finished your
says
gang.
Sand Dave. Never!
Never! I'm sorry, bud.
You stab him. Roll damage. Okay, would you like to describe killing Sand Dave?
As I say I'm sorry, but I slowly just sink the dagger into his eye.
No, Sand Dave will never accept your apology. And he dies, and like he does that spider thing where he falls on his back and his legs curl inwards. And he dies. You stand victorious.
Oh,
No.
Samba. I'll miss you, buddy.
But Goldman continues digging. Yeah, I almost got it. I'm almost to the god underneath this tower.
I summon unseen server. Help dig. And I start digging as well.
Okay,
I help
roll
as well.
with advantage. Hey. Ah, well, you dig. As Sticky starts digging with his tail. And soon enough, you uncover it. Lying there, just a body, is Cool Jerry.
No! Jerry, we wanted Sam Bob! Who killed Dave?
It's Lance, it's Cool Jerry. It's the body of your friend and mentor. Dead. He was buried underneath this tower.
It's my mentor, Cool Jerry.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure, on what?
I want to know if Cool Jerry is actually...
Cool.
If it's actually Cool Jerry.
Sure.
And not, like,
Well,
some
make
awful
an
thing.
investigation check. Yeah, that's Cool Jerry, all right. He's dead. He has a pair of sunglasses covering his face.
How did Cool Jerry end up all the way here in the desert? Could have sworn we buried him in the village.
Play sad background
This,
music.
Wit says, Lance, don't you know? This is Gold Leaf.
What? No, that's impossible. Gold Leaf did nothing like this.
There was a nuclear war, Lance.
Yeah, does that... What about all the people that lived here? What happened to everyone?
Those who didn't escape, like us. Well...
Sand, all of a sudden you hear a cry. What? What did you do to my partner? The Sandman comes running in. Sand Dave, no!
Sandman, your partner was not only the mastermind behind the nuclear devastation that has rained terror on our world some 60-odd years, but he also sought to destroy the old gods, destroy our people, and take control over everything.
It can't be true, says
I
Sandman.
believe
He stepped up when everybody else was dead.
He killed everybody else.
he was the one who did it. He didn't step up. He removed everybody else from the picture so that he could take what he wanted, which was not only control of this land, but control of you.
But...
I'm sorry.
She turns and looks at the dead body of Cool Jerry. So, what now?
I don't know.
There's no justice, says Whit Goldman. Did somebody say justice, you hear?
Oh no.
It's Mama Baronhand.
I bow to her a little bit as a way of hiding that I'm, like, taking a step back.
Oh, your friend fell in a chasm. That's such a shame.
Yeah.
That Cool Jerry. How unjust. Says that I should live and Cool Jerry should die. You know, she says, turning away from you. You see how I am giant, a giant skeleton?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got a point.
I am the one
You
who
are a
killed Cool
giant.
Jerry.
Oh.
So you're the skeleton of a giant?
That's right.
So you were the one who murdered Cool Jerry in front of my eyes that day.
That's right. And I have spent every day of my life regretting it. But yet somehow I am undead and he is not. And I have come to remedy this situation now, she says. Please, step aside.
Tiny whip, I'm keeping my eye on you.
I may give my life to revive another, she says. She goes towards Cool Jerry, passing by the body of Sandbob. Nobody stops her? Okay.
No.
And Sandbob remains dead. She starts chanting. And suddenly, the skeleton collapses. And Cool Jerry, well, you can't see him opening his eyes because he's wearing sunglasses. But he stands up and says, okay, a spotlight was summoned on him, so he says a lot. Hey, it's, Cool Jerry, says Cool Jerry. Looks like I've been revived. Cool. When I died, you know, I spent an eternity in the plane of death, walking coolly amongst the crazy cats that died, and there were a lot that soon came with the nuclear apocalypse. I even saw most recently my pal Sandbob. May he rest in peace. Now it's time to make the world a little more cool, though. Lance, my friend, says Cool Jerry.
Cool Jerry, I can't believe you're back now.
Is that a Tensor's floating disc?
Yeah, I remember you told me how I probably used it when I needed it most, and you were right.
That's right. You did the cool thing, says Cool Jerry. Now it's time to make the world the cool thing. And he puts his hand up in the air, and coolness starts flowing out of it, causing the world to become cooler. Suddenly, the hot sun doesn't seem so harsh. Suddenly, the desert sands don't seem so dense. All right, says Cool Jerry. Y'all feel cooler now?
Much. Thank you.
You want to go, party?
I'm down for a party, Cool Jerry. We'll be uncool not to party with you.
Let's go, says Cool Jerry. You're all cool enough to party with Cool Jerry.
I want to talk to the Sandman privately before we leave.
Okay. Talk with the sand. You pull the Sandman aside.
I just wanted to admit my condolences once again. Though he wasn't a good man, I understand that it can be hard to lose someone that you care for.
Yes, says the Sandman. It's tough, but I see now how I was wrong. Hogbert, right?
Yes, Hogbert.
You know, with San Dave gone, nobody's running the spinnerets. Are you still looking for work?
Absolutely.
Well, I think something can be arranged.
That would be wonderful. And in the light of your new single status, I would be happy to accompany you to this party. It's always a little awkward to go to a party alone.
Oh my, she says, blushing. All right, she holds out a hand.
I walk with her.
And you walk down to join the party. We close out Pogbert, you fart.
Ah, shit. Can I roll a deception check to make sure she didn't hear it?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand? My sleight of hand's better, that works. No! I rolled so bad. I have good deception and sleight of hand too.
The Sandman goes, oh dear. And then you're, what? Okay. Oh, goddammit, Eagle. And then, you suddenly hear, ahem! Are you dating my son? It's your father, your mother, Pogbert. Not Mrs. Pogbert? That's right, it's me, Mrs. Pogbert. You know, if you're gonna be dating my son, are you even a lawyer? Are you a doctor? No, but I do rule a desert tribe. Have you even gone to school?
Mother.
Pogbert, is she
Mother.
even Jewish? Yes?
Mother. Leave. This is not an issue or anything of consequence to you, Aretha. So I suggest you turn around and walk away.
Your father will hear about this, she says.
I'm sure he will.
By the way, I broke up with your father.
Good for you.
You have a new father now, she says.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do, because I married him. Come here, Spidling. Hey, it's me, Spidling Bert. How goes it, son?
Mother,
Yes.
I am not your son. And mother, I did not recognize you as a part of my life for years before this. Therefore, you, my father, and Spidlingbird remain not a part of my life. The Sandman, let's go.
Did you just fart? And we roll the
No.
credits. And that's where this ends.
I'm crying for you, Sam Bob. You'll be missed.
Okay. What a tale. What a story, folks. What a tale. What a last-minute addition by Eagle Soaring Over Lake River, one of our regulars. Go check out his channel sometime. In the meantime, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And enjoying another episode of Total Improv. I thought that was pretty decent. We told the story. There was love. There was loss. Cool. Jerry came back. He was so cool. Let's get a huge round of applause for our players this time. What another amazing job by Alolan Vulpix and the Barbarian. And let's get especially some cheers for our newest player who did great, Mitsu, the coolest cat on the block. The Conspiring Bulbasaur thought that was good. Anything y'all want to say before we close out?
Thanks for coming.
That was fun.
Good. It was
Yeah,
fun.
like,
Mitsu,
thank
good
you
first
for-
time.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. I can't wait to play some more with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So, tune in 3 hours at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Will and Grace, the one-shot. And tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another Total Improv one-shot that will be just as off the hook as this one. I swear it. I swear it upon Cool Jerry. What do you think we should call this episode?
I mean, if we don't call it Cool Jerry.
Cool Jerry. Cool Jerry it is. Will and Grace. The classic late 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s sitcom. Eagle. Jeez, some people don't even know what Will and Grace is. Tune in 3 hours for Will and Grace. In the meantime, let's finish this off with a raid. Oh, and here's a guy I haven't raided in a while, but I enjoy his content. He makes great maps, and also he runs D&D games, so let's go watch a little bit of Francois. And thank you, everybody, again, so much for tuning in and for supporting Total Improv, for spending your points, for driving the story, for being responsive in chat and giving suggestions. And again, let's just give it up to our 3 improvisers today. Alolan Vulpix, the Barbarian, and Mitsu for another job well done. Yeah! You all please have a wonderful Wednesday.